on your back, and you can, once you're there, just bend your knees. But keep the soles of your feet on the ground, and just take your knees together, and you'll take your feet a little bit wider apart. And then once you have landed there, you can bring just one hand to your belly, and either one hand to your heart or that hand on top of your other hand, whatever feels more comfortable. So you can just close your eyes and just start to actually physically feel your breath as you draw in a little bit more. Maybe even open your mouth, sigh out as you empty. And take these moments here to start in stillness and let it be a check-in of how you're feeling, where you're at, or maybe you even just start to right away bring to mind your intention. It might be that word mindful. So right away, you're mindful of the breath.
Connected to Krystle's iPhone and iPad.
And take one more deep breath in all the way to the top. Breathe all the way out to the bottom. So connecting with your sense of center physically in your body can sometimes allow us to energetically find our center, right? So we just like let everything around us soften, settle. A big breath in again. And a big breath out. And start to reach your arms overhead and stretch your legs long in front of you on the ground. Maybe take a roll of the wrists, a roll of the ankles, point and flex the feet. And then right away, getting into the side of your body here, I want you to reach a little bit further with your right fingertips and point your right toes forward a little more. So it's like you are pulling those two parts away from one another. Feel the right side of your body get a little bit longer. And then you switch, see if you can reach through the left fingertip. So a little stretch. And then slowly start to bring your right knee into your chest. Keep your left leg long. And then an easy twist. So let this be nice and easy. It doesn't have to be 100% because it's early. Just bring your right knee across. And you can start to reach your right hand over to the right. And then come back through center with that knee, hug it in. And then you'll switch sides, right leg long. Left knee hugs in. And then you take the twist to the other side and really reach with your left fingertips away from your chest. And then come back through center. You'll hug both knees in, like you're giving yourself a squeeze here. And start to just stack your knees right on top of your hips and create 90-degree angle with the shins just parallel to the ground. And start to point your toes forward and then flex your toes straight up towards the sky. You're going to keep them like that and bring your hands to your thighs. And then press your thighs back into your hands. So you can start to wake up the front part of the body, but stay strong in the mid-back. It might even start to lift up off the ground, and that's okay, but make sure that your core is engaged. See if you can breathe here just for 3, creating a little bit more heat. 2. Last one. You're going to keep your right hand connected to your right thigh, and then send your left leg long. Let it just hover and reach your left arm up and overhead. Yes, and then you'll switch. Left hand to your left thigh, right leg long, reach your right arm up and overhead. You're going to use the breath here. Take a breath in. Now exhale, you switch. Right knee bent, left leg long. 2 more rounds. Breathe in. And exhale, switch. Breathe in. Exhale, switch. Breathe in. Last time, exhale, switch. Stay here as you inhale. Exhale, you switch. Now stay just 1 more breath in. Hug both knees into your chest. And now you get to rock a little front to back, if that feels good. You'll just come up to a seat here. And then as you sit up tall, cross one shin in front of the other. You'll reach your hands up and overhead. Send your right hand down towards the ground and lean over to the right. And then back up through center, reach your right hand back up. Left hand goes down and you lean over to the left. And then back up through center, you'll reach both hands high. Now we're going to do the same thing, but a little different. Right hand drops. You're going to lean over to the right. Now drape your left arm just over the top of your head. And so just this simple movement here, you can soften through the left fingertips. I want you to lift through the left elbow here. Rather than leaning over as far as you can, just lift up through the elbow so you can really find that length. See if you can press your head into your left forearm a little more. And then you'll rise up, reach both hands high. And then you'll find the other side, left hand drops. Drape your right arm over the top of your head. And then lead with the elbow, lift up a little higher. Right away, you stretch through the right side. And then if you want to deepen, maybe you just tip a little to the left, but at the same time, press your head into your arm. And then come back up through center. Send both hands forward and just an easy fold here over the legs. Doesn't have to be big. You can start to shake out the head, yes and no. And then walk the hands back towards the legs. You're going to switch whatever shin is in front. Sit up tall again. And then folding forward, just round, just to keep it even in the hips. And you'll start to lift the chest up high. Start to make your way into a reverse tabletop, just enough to plant the feet hips width distance and lift your seat up. And it doesn't have to be big here. You can even just shake, rock side to side. And then lower your feet back onto the ground. And now this time you cross the legs, but plant the hands, coming back into downward facing dog. And so again, it's your first down dog. So I want you to bend through the knees a little bit more. And then see if you can press your hands into the ground so much that you can lift your feet up and back a little bit more, a little bit higher. Feel your low back, your mid back lengthen. Stay for the breath in. You'll rise up onto your toes. And then as you breathe out, just drop your knees down to the ground, finding tabletop pose. You're going to take that breath in to lift through the heart, finding cow. And then the exhale to press the ground away and round your upper back towards the sky. Now, you stay rounded here. Now, deepen the stretch in your mid back by just shifting that round back, shifting it back just a little bit more, like you were starting to bring your seat closer towards your heels. And then your palms might start to lift up off of the ground and you come to the pads of your fingertips. And then can you send your pubic bone slightly forward to find that stretch a little more? Now keep that rounding, that flexion of the spine. Walk your hands over to the right a little more so you can deepen that stretch in the mid back. And then bring your hands back through center. Walk your fingertips over to the left. And keep sending the weight back to your degree so you can find that length. Stretch it out. And then you'll come back through center. Shift weight back forward, just finding that tabletop pose. And then start to tuck your toes under. I want you to float your knees 3 inches off the ground so you can again bring that work into the front side of the body, into your core here. Take a full breath in. Soften the elbows as you breathe out. One more inhale. Send your hips back and then up, back to that downward facing dog shape. You can bend your knees a little more to lengthen the back. Take a full inhale. A bigger exhale. Start to rise back up to your toes as you inhale. Breathe in. Back to that tabletop pose. Right into cow as you inhale. Lift the heart. And then exhale to that exaggerated cat shape as you shift the weight back. Maybe come to the pads of your fingertips. One last time to walk your hands over to the right. And then over to the left. Back through center. Start to sit on your heels just for a moment, and then to open through the chest after all of that, take the hands behind you and lift your chest high. Feel the collarbones expand as you lift the chin. And then slowly, using your belly, draw it back and in to rise up onto your knees and reach your arms up and overhead. You'll take a full inhale. Now this time, bend the elbows wide like goalposts. Take a breath in to pull the elbows back and feel the upper back squeeze together. And then exhale to draw the forearms together in front of your face. With strength, not just momentum. 2 more. Inhale, draw it back. With resistance, can you squeeze the shoulder blades together? And then exhale, draw it forward. Almost like you were moving through water with tension. Inhale, open the chest. And then exhale, draw the forearms together. Now start to reach the hands up and overhead. Now for balance, engage the belly and step the right foot forward. Take that breath in to reach up higher. You're gonna drop the right hand down and drape that left arm over the top of your head, just like you did before. Now think about leading with the elbow, lift it up towards the sky. Now maybe lean over to the right, just a little bit more. And then you reach back up through center, take a breath in, reach both hands high. And start to bring your hands down, frame your right foot. You're gonna tuck your back toes, lift your knee as you inhale. Stay as you exhale, your left hand will stay on the ground. Slowly start to reach your right hand up towards the sky and you find a twist. Now take a breath in to get longer through the crown of your head. And breathe out, maybe even look to your top hand. Reach your right hand forward. You're gonna let it land inside the right foot. And then look to the left side of your mat. You're gonna find wide leg forward fold, all 10 toes. Face the side of your mat, that halfway lift as you breathe in. And then exhale to fold. You can soften the knees even as you do so. Again, maybe shake out the head, yes and no. Maybe you start to even find a little bit of release with the spine just draping over the legs. Letting gravity do a little bit of work for you here. Then find your halfway lift again. Reach your heart forward as you inhale. Start to frame your right foot back into that low lunge. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Huge inhale to rise up to your toes. Big exhale to drop the knees down. Again, lifting the heart, finding cow as you inhale. And then exhaling to press the ground away. You round, maybe you tip back and come to the pads of your finger. This time, walk the hands over to the left. And then over to the right. Back through center. Sit back on your heels. Walk your hands back towards your toes and lift your chest, finding that reverse cow shape. Big exhale to rise up onto your knees and reach the arms up and overhead. And then take the elbows wide like goalposts. You've got 3 of those strong movements in the shoulders. Inhale to open through the chest. And then exhale, draw it in. Feel the back body engage as you open the front. And then find the opposite. Feel the front engage and the back open as you draw the hands forward. One last time, inhale, open up. And then exhale, draw it in. You reach the hands up and overhead to step the left foot forward into that lunge. Left hand will drop as you reach the right fingertips high, and then let that hand just drape over by your left ear. Lift up through the right elbow, maybe even lean to the left. And then you'll reach back up. Take a full inhale when you're ready. Hands come down, framing your left foot to start. You'll tuck the back toes and lift the knee off the ground. And then right away, I want your right thigh to be so strong. It's your anchor. Even as you reach the left hand high and twist open. Stay here. As you inhale, find length. Exhale, maybe deepen and look to your top hand. Reach your left hand forward and let it land inside the foot. Look to your right, wide like forward fold. All 10 toes face the side. Find that halfway lift as you lengthen. And then refold and bow the chest down. Stay here, a breath in and a breath out. Start to come back to that halfway lift, heart forward. See your left foot, you'll frame it. Step back to downward facing dog. A big breath in through your nose. Open up your mouth. Again, you're going to rise up to your toes as you inhale. Drop your knees down towards the ground as you exhale. Right into cow. Take that breath in, lifting the heart. And either regular cat or that exaggerated cat. We're not finding that fancy movement side to side. Then I want you to come back in to your middle and send your right leg behind you and your left arm forward. So take that big breath in to pull it apart. And then the exhale, tap elbow and knee together underneath you. You have that one more time. Inhale, expand. Draw in towards the middle and you contract. Now send that right leg behind you and float the left hand back forward. Keep the right leg floating, just send your left hand back onto the earth. Now you get to tuck the right toes under, but keep that right leg long. I want you to pick the left knee up and in towards your chest and send it back behind you, three-legged dog here. Now you get to roll out the left ankle, wiggle the toes. If you want, you can even bend the knee. And without the shoulders moving, maybe you start to lift the knee and open the left hip up just a little bit more. It doesn't have to be big. Take the breath in to send that left leg behind you. And then slowly start to step your left foot to your left thumb. So now we start with the left foot forward. Soften the back knee, and then start to reach your hands up and overhead. So you're coming into a high lunge here. You'll take the breath in to reach your hands up higher. And then the exhale to bend the elbows wide like those goalposts. One time to inhale and open through the chest. And then exhale to draw the forearms together in front of your face. Now stay in the lunge. You're going to reach your hands up as you inhale. Step the right foot to meet the left at the top of your mat. Bend your knees, finding a chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart center. Stay for the inhale. Sink a little bit lower as you exhale. Now keep your knees in line and just start to tilt your hips forward, your pelvis tilts forward. Now you send your seat back and you get it long through the spine. Stay here or twist to the right. Left elbow can start to come outside the thigh or the knee. If that feels like too much, bring the forearm outside and right hand to your low back. That's enough to create a twist. Wherever you are, take a full breath in. Big breath out. Make sure that firm base is strong in the legs. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. You're supposed to stand all the way up and reach your hands high. Breathe in. And then bring your hands to your hips. Just step your left foot back and open up warrior two. And this should feel good. You'll reverse your warrior. Right hand will rise. Start to drape your right arm over the top of your head. Now you get to, again, one last time on this side, lead with the right elbow. Let it pick you up. Imagine you are pressing the top of your head into your hands. Let it feel good here. That side body length. Take one more inhale. And then send your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm over your ear. Extended side angle. Take one more breath in. And then just bring your hands down to the top of your mat. Step back to down dog. A breath in through your nose. A breath out to empty. And then you'll rise up to your toes as you inhale. Drop to your knees, finding tabletop pose. One round of cat-cow, lifting the heart, breathe in. And then exhaling to round for cat. Back to neutral on the other side. Your left leg will go back behind you. Your right hand, reach it forward. Take a breath in, pull it apart. And then exhale, elbow and knee, tap it together underneath you. One more time like that, pull it apart. Think of the belly as you draw in towards center, elbow and knee. Now pull it apart as you inhale. Set the right hand down, tuck the left toes under. That left leg stays long. Pick the right knee up and into your chest. Send the right leg back, three-legged dog. Now you get to roll out the right ankle, wiggle the toe. Point them back. Look forward. Step the right foot to your right thumb. Now you get to soften the back knee as you reach the hands up and overhead. Finding that lunge. Now that back leg does not have to be straight here. You can soften it and almost pull it forward to reach up a little higher. And then the right hand drops down. You get to drape the left arm over the head and lean just a little over to the right. But think about lifting up through the head, through the elbow, creating that length. And then reach the hands up. Take that big breath in. And then take the elbows wide as you empty. You'll take that inhale to open through the heart. And then exhale to pull the forearms together. Reach your hands up and overhead. Step your left foot to meet the right at the top of your mat. Bending both knees, it's chair pose. Hands to your heart center. And coming into that twist, but you send your heart forward, your seat draws back. Stay here or twist to your degree over to the left. So whether it's the forearm outside of the knee or the hands stay in prayer, you stay here, full round of breath. Big breath out. You get to stand all the way up with strong legs. Reach hands up and overhead. Bring your hands to your hips. You're stepping that right foot back and just opening up. Warrior two with your left knee stacked over your left ankle. Reverse your warrior, left hand, reach it up to the sky. Let it drape over your head. Lift up through the elbow, maybe even lean a little more. And then it's extended side angle, forearm to your thigh, reach right arm alongside your ear. Pressing down through the back foot, reach through the right hand. And then bring the hands down, finding plank pose this time. Just a nice strong plank as you inhale. And lower all the way down to the ground as you empty. And start to take your arms down along your sides. You're going to point your toes straight back. Feel the tops of your toes just like press down into your mat. Keep your pads of your fingertips on the ground. The palms might even lift up. And then start to think of your mid back. That will work. You'll squeeze the shoulder blades together, but can you start to press the pubic bone down to lift your chest? So no crunching in the low back. It's not about how high you lift here, but how much you can lift the heads of the shoulders. Squeeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, maybe even soften through the elbows to let that happen. Think about the back of your neck getting really long here. Keep pressing the pubic bone down to squeeze the glutes. And then exhale to lower all the way down. Start to bend the knees. And just windshield wiper the legs side to side. And then release your legs down. Take your forehead to the earth, hands underneath your shoulders. You're just going to press back up into hands and knees, tabletop pose. And then one last time here to find that core engagement, especially after back bends, when we're in that extension of the spine. It's nice to come into neutral and find engagement. Tuck the toes under, float the knees. And then a little check-in, maybe float the left foot. Set it down. Float the right foot. Set it down. One more breath in. Set the knees back down right into tabletop. Breath in. Sit back on your heels as you take your big toes together and your knees wide. It's child's pose. And if you want a little more, you can walk your hands a little over to the right. Maybe reach with the left fingertips a little bit more. And then walk your hands over to the left. And your right fingertips reach. Come back through center. You're just going to shift your weight forward enough to just sit off to the side and swing your legs out in front of you. So two more shapes here. just to really get into that like mid to low back, that stretch. You're gonna take your right leg long, and the sole of your left foot will come to the inside of your right leg. Now see your right toes point straight up towards the sky. You're gonna turn your navel towards your toes here. So this is a forward fold. So while you are twisting, right? So your spine is in that flexion forward, but then also in a twist. So there's like a double action in the mid back happening here. I want you to lift up higher through the crown of the head and then start to fold forward, thinking heart towards your pinky toe. Now, once you're there, if you want a little bit more stretch or a little bit more of a twist, your left hand can come either outside the shin, the ankle, or the pinky toe side edge of the foot. Wherever you are, take an inhale to reach your heart forward, and then an exhale to bend through the left elbow, maybe even soften the right knee. Send breath to any spaces of resistance. And then come up. You're going to send your left hand behind your feet. And a nice counter for this is to bring your spine into extension here. So you plant the hand, you rise up onto that knee, that right leg stays long, and just reach your right hand away. It's a little bit of a back bend, but opening through the chest. And then you'll sit back down on the ground, send your left leg long, sole of your right foot in towards your legs. Sit up tall as you breathe in. The left toes point up towards the sky. You're going to turn your navel towards them and then fold towards that space. Your right hand this time can come outside the calf, the ankle, the foot. Take that breath in to lengthen your heart forward. And then the breath out to fold all the way down. Feel free to move to that space where you feel that stretch or the lessening of the resistance. Breathe into it a little more. Full breath in. Big breath out. And then rise up with the chest. Take your right hand down behind you. You'll lift your feet, reach away from your left foot. And then bring your feet back onto the ground. You'll take both legs out in front of you, give them a little bit of a shake. And then you'll just find your way back onto your mat, lying down. Bend your knees, heel toe your feet just a little bit wider, and knock your knees together just like you did before. One hand to your belly, the other hand on top of that. Close your eyes. Coming back to your breath, back to that intention. A full breath in all the way to the top. Maybe even open your mouth, let it sigh out. As you feel everything soften, settle. And if it feels good to start with bent knees here, you can. If you want one final twist that you might be craving, you can keep your feet on the ground a little bit wider than your hips, and then maybe even start to separate the knees and take your arms out like goalposts. And then just take both knees over to the right. Nice and easy, just look over to your left elbow. And come back through center. You'll drop both knees over to the left. Look over to the right. And then bring yourself back through center. You can hug your knees into your chest if you want one final onto your knees if that feels like more support in your mid-back. And then hug everything in. Take your biggest inhale right here. And release it all, finding your final place of rest here, your Shavasana, whether that's taking a pillow under your knees or your head, or whatever you need here. You let everything soften and settle. From the tips of your toes all the way up and out through the crown of your head. See if you can move from the place of needing to react to a place where you can just observe. How easy it is to think, I will be feeling like this forever. But look at how quickly the scenery changes. In the space of a day, we can see courage, faith, despair, desolation, anger, healing, and even joy. And if there's one thing that's true, it's this. The universe is always changing. It is constant, continual evolution. The same holds true for the minutes, hours, and days of our lives. We are continually changing and shifting. Each emotion, attitude, and experience, each piece of scenery leads to the next. Put them all together, and what do you have? A grand journey. An exciting trip that leads to someplace worth going and someplace worth being. Each moment you are here. Look at how quickly the scenery changes, but learn to enjoy the view. Allow your next breath to be just a little bit bigger than the last. Start to send that breath a little more energy to your fingers and your toes, waking those parts of your body up, your extremities, your wrists, your ankles, maybe even a long body stretch. Start to bend your knees and just roll to your side, keeping your eyes heavy as you make your way to a seat. Once you are there, bring your hands together right in front of your chest. Return to your intention. Knowing that you are exactly where you need to be, right here and right now in that journey. Take a full breath in. A big breath out. And take your thumb tips to the center of your forehead. Remembering to be kind to yourself. Share that kindness with others. Namaste.